All right, folks. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live. Hopefully, everybody's here and ready to have a good conversation. We already got our guest in the house saying hello to everybody. And yes, people are, people are here. We are on, and yes, we are ready to get going live. So, hello, Miss Ann Smalls, Shannon, and everybody. Let's get going. So, guys, if this is your first time checking out the show, welcome to episode 3 of Unfiltered Live. We have a wonderful, wonderful show lined up for you and a wonderful guest to have another great conversation. Hopefully, the last 2 nights have been pretty awesome, and I think this one should be just on par as well. Plus, I like these conversations. It's a little bit fun. Hello, Felicia. Welcome to the show. And I love the conversation out of, yes, three, 3 out of 100. So we're knocking them down, baby. We're getting them going. So how many? Well, I have quite a bit. So I wanted to mention really quickly, guys. So if you're checking us out on our YouTube channel, you can go to our YouTube page. And it is at the Gabe Lou Experience there. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and the notification bell to let you know whenever we are live, whenever we schedule new lives, and whenever we drop new video content on the channel. We're starting to do that more often. Also, trying to get over 1,000 subscribers so that we can customize our URL. So go help a brother out. Go over there to our YouTube page and subscribe there. And of course, you can check us out on our wonderful, wonderful home, our platform on LinkedIn. And we have all our beautiful people already in the comments saying hello. So thank you again, guys, for showing up, for being here these last 3 nights. Hopefully this will carry a lot of momentum into the next 97. All right, before we get into that as well, let's give a little love for the sponsor of our show, the Inky Black team. They are the ones that created my logo, and they can help you create yours if you're trying to get started in the branding, marketing sort of field of wanting to personal brand your company or your dream, your idea, your identity. Go check them out here real quick. All right, there we go. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys are in for a wonderful, wonderful conversation. This evening's guest, I've had the pleasure of actually going on his show twice already. So I decided that since I'm going to be doing a live every day, I said, well, why not bring him on and we can just kind of have a conversation of all things live streaming, beards, foods, you name it. So, guys, get ready, and please will help me welcome to the show this evening's guest, my friend, hopefully your friend, and hopefully you guys will enjoy the beard action going on. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Christopher Hennessy, folks. Hey there, buddy. How are you?
Hey man, I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. It's
This is
finally.
a little different setup, man. Like I didn't, I don't know if I'm on screen or not. Like it's a little different than what I'm used to.
It is. So
Oh, I see it now. It says on air. I'm in the broadcast.
you're in the
If
broadcast.
I'd have been looking at you and not uh, trying to answer comments, it'd have been all good.
Well, that's the whole thing we talked about last night with Nancy. Was like, hey, try not to be squirrely and hop in the comments because it
Yeah,
is
it's a little
nice.
different.
Yes, it is. So, but this is the fun thing that I love about being in live streaming and the creative part of the process, right? We can do fun things like this. So, I've made different layouts because I just love to be overkill. So here's a different one, right? Look at this. We're in the galaxy far, far away. Say hello, everybody. We are out in space. um,
You're doing it over here, and I'm having to watch it on LinkedIn
I'm
on the
not to
delay. It
LinkedIn. You
hadn't
see
shown
it.
up yet.
So those who don't see, this is what that when you see it comes across. This is what you'll see. But like I
Oh,
said,
there it is. There it is.
I go a little bit fancy. I love doing just crazy shit. Look at this one. Um, here's one that you and me, were now inside of circles. So this is the fun thing about what we get to do as creators, right? This is what we talk about, and this is where we're going to kind of go into about tonight. The galaxy, yes, Monique, the galaxy is on fire. So are you guys in the comments. You guys are killing it. And
No kidding.
but one thing that I wanted to mention. Hello, Hank. Welcome. I've never seen you, but thank you for stopping in. But yes, you're gonna go plaid soon. Love that line. Oh, Holly's here watching over on your Twitch, I assume. Um,
Yeah, she
um,
is.
so, but let's see. Hold on. Here's one that I wanted to try. I don't know if it'll work. We're trying. This is first time for me, first time for everybody else. So we're breaking our chair tonight, folks. Um, I used a chat widget from Streamlabs and brought it in here. So let's see if it is actually populating the chat. I don't know if it does. Probably not. I did not do something right. Oh, there it is. Look. So if you guys are watching on the screen now, and let me this is what I love about it. Oh God, I love you, Ecamm. You make what I do so much better and easier. So inside of what I'm doing here, let me unlock it. I can make this chat a little bit bigger and bringing it here. So what it does is it populates the comments, and as people start to comment, there's Kenny D's. So it's bringing it in through the restream comments. So that's the only crazy part. But everybody that's popping in the comments, now you can start seeing your comments pop into the stream. And that's the cool part about what you can also do with Ecamm. You can change the set out here. And again, I can change the sizing. I can bring it in here. So everybody's seeing our comments now as we're actually having a conversation, Chris. So this kind of helps out with so many comments that are popping in.
Yeah.
That you can let people like bring in their comments and say hello, and and we're actually seeing the galaxy as well. So
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But I love it. Even I can see your comment. So it shows up in the stream, and this is cool because now I can go back and rechange the formatting and how it goes.
Yeah.
But let's get into a little bit of the conversation. I wanted to talk about how does it pop up automatically? Monica, that is what so you can actually bring in a widget. So if you've ever done this through OBS, Streamlabs has a widget that you can copy and paste and bring it in, and it will bring in your comments automatically into your stream. So, this is cool that you can actually bring this in, and I don't have to actually like mess with every single comment right now, and I can still make people part of the conversation. So, what I wanted to mention though is tonight is that we're going to have a conversation about live streaming. So I wanted to ask you a really serious question about live streaming. For those who don't know, like what your background is and where it is, you have, and you talk about this on a show anyway. You have another show that you call In the Stigma, which is talking about helping, people that have men who've been in prison and trying to change their lives and reform their lives. What made you decide that when you got out, that apart from like trying to just rebuild a life and everything else, but to get into live streaming? Like, what was the thing that you saw? Like, what was the first thing that you said, wow, I got to do this? For me, I mean, I'm going to tell you my moment. My moment is watching Russ Johns, and I was seeing him interview somebody, and I was just enamored with the conversation. And I saw two men that were talking honestly about what their lives were like. And I said, wow, I want to do that. And I reached out, and that was my moment for me to get started in live streaming. So, I want to know what your moment was that got you turning on a camera, saying hello, and then just start talking, putting yourself out there.
Something really similar, except it wasn't like I saw Amy Leanne Wills go live with Josh Kruger. Amy's not even really a live streamer. She's gone live a few times just for fun. And she's kind of snarky and has kind of a dry sense of humor, and Josh Kruger is just a straight up smartass. So the two of them together, it was really fun to watch them go back and forth. And I was brand new on LinkedIn. I'd been on LinkedIn about 4 months probably, and well, maybe not even that long, maybe 2 or 3 months. And I thought, man, that looks like fun. And that was back when you still had to apply for LinkedIn Live. You couldn't just turn on creator mode and go live. So I thought, man, that looks like fun. I want to do that, because it was just it was just fun to watch somebody else have a conversation. I don't even remember what the conversation was about, and then be able to interact with them. I thought that was really, really cool. So I started live streaming, started bringing people onto my network that I thought were doing really cool things. I started with this webcam, a $35 webcam from Amazon. That's all I had. Didn't have a mic, didn't have nothing. Because back then I thought, well, it has a built-in mic, it's good enough,
It's
right?
good enough for me.
Yeah. And then at the same time, my co-host on Ending the Stigma, about the same time, he started live streaming. He started a live stream show called Winsing Wednesdays, and we had both kind of posted about being in prison. And he reached out to me one day and said, hey man, we both live stream. I feel like we should be doing more as far as talking about being in prison and helping people that come out and all that. Do you want to start another show together? And so that's kind of what led into Ending the Stigma. And through doing So I Did a Thing and Ending the Stigma, I saw just how amazing live streaming was at building a community. And that's really what has drawn me to it and kept me with it. Because like right now, we've got people having a party in the comments. They may not even care if we're here or not, right?
Exactly.
So, and that's what I love about it. Like, people show up and have fun, and they get to know each other, and they make friends, and all of that. So that's really kind of how I got into live streaming.
Oh man, I love that. Because like you said, you mentioned a few things that I loved, that have kind of struck a chord with me, and that is the engagement, the connections that happen, the community that happens, and the people that come and show up. And like you said, sometimes the conversation is almost, it's not even the main course sometimes. Sometimes
Right.
it's the people that come in and want to be a part of this community and show up here.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so I think for me, that's a huge one in wanting to not just talk about this subject, but also bring it to the attention of other people who might want to like get into this. So that'll lead me into our next sort of question. Like what was the progression for you? Like when you went, from just doing live streaming to now wanting to help others, like find their place and get started in creating their live streams and wanting to put themselves out there as well.
It was kind of towards the end of last year, like October, November. I had been a little disenchanted with my 8 to 5 job. I still work a day job
Mm-hmm.
for right now. And I got to thinking about what could I do to branch out on my own. I'd never thought about it before, never wanted to before, didn't want the hassle of running a business before, or what I thought was a hassle. But didn't know what I really wanted to do. So that was probably why I felt that way.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I loved live streaming, people were always encouraging me, man, I love your shows. Your shows are great. You need to do more of this. I can see you, you're a natural, and just really encouraging me. And it led me to, I didn't know what I wanted to do at first. I thought maybe a YouTuber at first. And I thought, no, I
Yeah.
don't want to do that. And then it snapped. So many people are getting into live streaming now. I know you were a producer and DJ and Travis. And so I just started kind of reaching out to all three, all kind of asking questions and, well, what about this? And what about that? And Gabe was the one I asked most, y'all. I burned his DMs up for probably 2 solid months asking questions.
Yeah.
And he was gracious, like super gracious, did not even think about looking at me as any kind of competition at all. He was there to help. And that's the way Travis was and DJ was too. But I just saw, the effectiveness of building a community, how effective it could be at showcasing what what your services are. And I knew that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to help people showcase who they were, build their community, and create something that is fun. Like, look right now, like, look how fun and engaging this is.
Yeah. It
You
is.
know, but if you can do this and showcase what you're doing and showcase your services and have a message to share, then that, to me, that's like the perfect storm.
Right. Now that is where the magic lies, right? So like we come on here and yes, I've been live streaming since 2020. I predate all of y'all. Oh,
All of, yeah, definitely predate me
I
by a
don't know,
year.
Dan. I started streaming in 2019. I got you a little bit. Okay. But we'll talk about that when he comes on the show. But what I wanted to mention was the fact that like what we're doing here now. So we get to show off like all the fun, cool tech and stuff like this. But there's actually something behind taking live streaming and actually doing it to build a message, to
Mm-hmm.
build an authority, and to use it. And people are using it and structuring it in a way to kind of make, not just a business, but to build a brand and to build,
Mm-hmm.
build a way to kind of connect with new people, new clientele. Um, there you go. As the bet now, that one I'll agree with. But there is something about getting yourself on a camera and starting to do live streaming and creating, again, not just videos, but you're creating almost like a compass or legends that people can go back and
Mm-hmm.
kind of find you as far as like as a business, like so something that you might make a year from now, right? Talking about a subject that somebody's coming to look for, can go find it on where else, YouTube, and they can go and connect and say,
Mm-hmm.
man, I want to see what he has to talk about this. And then that leads him down the path of wanting to get to a point of, he's using it to build his business. He's using it to build his authority, and he's using it in these manners. I want to do the same thing with it. And then sometimes that
Mm-hmm.
leads out where they want to reach out to you. They want to connect with you, and they want to learn the process. And I think that's where you got to be, where it is okay to be gracious and wanting to help somebody else and get started in doing this. And I think that's why I want to see more and more people do it. That's kind of been my MO of wanting to help other live streamers get their voices out there and get started, because as good as I think that I am, I'm only one person. So there's other people that's why I said I don't see people as competition. I see people as just a branch going out there and spreading and teaching others the same gospel, like
Mm-hmm.
getting them out there and being able to say, I know what this is. I've learned from these people. I've added my own sort of unique perspectives to it. And then boom, you're out there doing it. So I
Mm-hmm.
love to see that happen. And I'm glad that you're out there doing it as well. So, enough with the seriousness. Let's start getting into some shenanigans, because it's already shenanigan time for
Okay.
me. So what I want to talk about now is the beard. People. So again, things that you have, that your personality, and as you show up, they become part of your brand. Like people
Mm-hmm.
freak out when they see me without my hat. You're like,
Right.
dude, you don't
They
have
do
your.
me too. If I show up on a Zoom call or something without a hat on, because like during the day when I'm at work, I have it sitting right there. And sometimes if I jump on a Zoom during the day, I don't always grab it and put it on. And they're like, bro, where's your hat? Because I'm never on camera on a live stream without my hat.
And they freak out and they're like, "What are you doing? You're off
Yeah.
brand."
Yeah,
You know.
exactly.
So so part of that for you is also the beard. People
It
see it.
is. Yeah.
So again, let's talk about this. Uh, what are some of the things that you do to kind of keep that thing? Because I don't know why it is, but I seem like I get to know a lot of live stream creators that have this stuff here. I don't know what it is about what we do, but like I see Russ as well. Russ Johns, who's not here this evening, but
Yeah, he's got a long one.
he's got a long one, right? So it builds into part of your brand. So like Travis, people see Travis and they would freak the hell out if they don't see him without the mustache. They would go,
Or
"Oh
a
my
black
god,
shirt.
it's a black shirt."
Or the black
Or the
shirt.
black shirt, but
If he had,
he makes it part of the brand though,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Speaking of Travis, he just popped in. I don't know
Yes,
if you saw him or
I
not.
saw it. There it
Yeah.
is. So, but yes, Travis, if you're watching, I'm gonna go back to the fancy one again, and we're gonna pull in the Galaxy. Look at this, Travis. We can actually do this through Ecamm now, where we can bring in our chat comments and our chat overlay here, and just give it a minute to populate. And The comments start showing up here, but there you go. There's Dusty's. Look at that, bud. This is what's cool. And the hat is your brand. It is. So let's talk about that. How does that, how does that kind of work out for you? Like, do you use any kind of oils, brushes? You do.
I do,
I've done
man.
I've done a few myself. Like try to keep it trained and in line, because it'll, you let it go, it's just gonna go everywhere.
Yep. So yeah, it's a whole routine, man. And I never thought I'd be this guy, because I'm a really low maintenance kind of guy. So I use a beard wash specifically for beards, and it makes a difference, y'all. Over the weekend, I went to the coast and we stayed in a hotel. I forgot my beard wash, so I had to use the cheap shampoo and conditioner that comes, in your hotel room. My beard was like, the humidity down there was bad enough,
Yes.
right? So, but my beard was screwed all weekend. But I wash it with beard wash. When I get out of the shower, I put oil in it, comb all the tangles out of it, and then let it dry. And then, because I have naturally curly hair, my beard has a tendency to just kind of wad up. So I straighten it. I have a beard straightener. It looks like a brush and it heats up, and I straighten it. And then I put beard balm in it.
Ooh.
It's curly head people problems, but put beard balm in it, and then I go to bed. And when I go to bed and I sleep on it, it kind of keeps it from poofing out as much.
Yeah.
And then 3 or 4 times a year, I kind of have to fade in the sides a little bit to keep it from really looking bushy. Yeah, it's a whole thing. I turn into an almost straight up high maintenance
Holly,
ass
I love
dude.
this comment. She says, "You are more high maintenance than I am, Chris."
Look, I'm telling you, it's a lot of work keeping this thing looking right.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing about it. It's like, so how long did it take you to kind of grow that? I mean, I
have been growing this since like October of last year.
Wow.
And I trimmed the length once, and I really wished I hadn't. I didn't trim much off of it, just trimmed some stray ends. But it's been growing for almost a year now.
Wow, man, I can't let it go that long. I mean, I'm just, wow. Because for me, I'm like, after a while, it's like, it starts annoying me. So I just keep it at a level. I'll go back but there's some people that can just let it like, and it goes so quickly. So it grows at different intervals, right?
It actually started as a way to spite the ex-wife, because she would not. I'd mentioned it to her one time about growing because I used to keep it trimmed really short. If you remember last year, it was trimmed really close, really clean, had clean lines underneath. And I mentioned to her one time, "Hey, what about if I grow my beard out?" She was like, "Nah, I don't think I'd like that." So it didn't take long after she left, and I grew this thing
I'm
doing
out. It anyway.
I'm doing it, yeah.
All right.
And she came by to get some of her stuff after I'd let it grow a little bit. And she was like, "I don't like that." And I said, "I don't give a damn whether you like it or not." Anyway, I digress. Let's move on.
There you go. Beards. We've been talking beards. We've been talking live streaming. So let me ask you another question. This one will be a little bit more shenanigans, and then we'll go serious one more time. So I sent you this question, and I always like asking off the cuff questions to people. Just because I love a little bit of lunacy in my life. So I got to ask this. Would you let Superman punch you in the gut for $10 million?
Is he going to pull the punch?
He ain't pulling punch.
Man, I don't know, dude. Superman's bad. $10 million won't do me any good if I'm dead.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think so, man.
Hey, it's great. That's what I love about being honest. That's a good thing. And second, have you ever been couch surfing to scrounge up money to go to Taco Bell since Jacob's here? That one's kind of geared towards him.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Oh my God, I've gone diving in my truck, in the ashtray, in the console, in the couch, in the chair. Man, I got $239. I can go get a beef Mexi melt.
There you go.
Some of y'all don't know about that beef Mexi melt.
That's right. And hey, and that's another thing that kind of opens the door of talking like where you've had it on your show a few times, where you talked about like prison food.
Yeah.
You actually even did a demonstration on a live stream, which I was like, this is awesome. I love seeing this story, this stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, so what was like, again, for those who didn't go back and watch it, I'm gonna tell everybody here, go watch back and check some of Chris's past episodes. That's a really good one. What is the worst thing that you've ever eaten in prison that you can remember?
So there were some really, really terrible things. Why did that switch? Hang on, I'm fixing to drop my YouTube channel in the chat.
That's okay.
So it's not working right. I got a pork chop one time in prison that still had the skin and hair on it a little bit. Yeah, I was done after that. That was awful.
Oh my God. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, like I was like, what the crap is that? Oh
my God.
The tuna noodle casserole was pretty bad, and then they had a thing called they had a pork patty and a pork roll. A pork roll was like ham.
Okay.
Pork patty was like just a ground pork patty, and you could smell it all the way down the hallway when they were cooking it. It just smelled musty. It was nasty. None of the casseroles were really good because, you know, by the time you get them, the noodles are mushy and everything. Yeah. But that pork patty and the tuna noodle casserole was probably two of the worst things. For sure.
Oh my God. That sounds like it's agonizing to look at. I can imagine what it's like to actually pass through.
Yeah. Those were the days I was glad that I had family and friends that were supporting me and sending me money because I ate out of my locker. Yeah. I ate commissary food on those nights.
Well, that's awesome, though. And this is what I love about like what you have done, and we're going to switch a little bit back into some of the series, but what you've done with the two shows that you talk about. Now, for those who don't know, you're on a break right now. So it's good. Take a little time for yourself. And we all need those breaks. Believe me, I've taken my fair share of them. But one of the things that I wanted to ask you about, so when you're doing those two shows, right, you have an idea of like what you want to do when you create, right? Now that you've seen and what you're able to do and your ability is, what do you see yourself like doing and growing and kind of developing yourself in this industry of not just live streaming, but in what you're kind of learning to do and elevate into like video production and learning how to produce and all of these other things? Kind of walk with this because you've started your own production company as well, correct?
Yep. So I for sure want to learn some video production. I don't really do any of it. Like I can do some really basic stuff. I've messed around a little bit trying to make videos, and I do okay at it. Just okay.
Just okay.
Just okay. It's not really my strong suit. A lot of it is because I don't have the time to sit down and just mess with it and learn it really good. So I really want to learn video production. And really, I just want to take the production part of it, the live stream production part, from a side hustle to a full-time job. So the goal is hopefully by this time next year, and maybe even before then, but for sure by this time next year, I'm doing that full-time. That's my main focus right now, is growing the production business.
Good. I love that. Because, you know, I think that's a goal for all of us that like take what we're doing here and then seeing the potential, right? And like saying, hey, I want to elevate this. I want to elevate this into something else. I want to kind of build, again, a brand, a business, a way to connect with people. And I think that's the part where we all, kind of just, I don't want to say not all of us, because some of us just do this, like I said, as as a means to build a voice or an authority, but then there's people that actually go and take it and do it and actually build it out into making a business and finding a career in this, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
think that is where it's pretty important for anybody who wants to get into the arena of what it is to like do the what we're doing here and creating, because again, none of us have actually had the expertise or had a background in like broadcasting or communications. The only one that I know of was one that Dan Roth had mentioned, which is Cher Jones. And Cher had actually done, that's why I bow and take whatever he told me. I was like, yes, because she had a background in communications and, you know, again, knew sort of the business where we kind of walked into it and discover like that we like doing this, that we like, hey, like messing with the camera, and I like being on screen, and I like even doing this and creating it for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And to me, that's half the fun is sitting down with someone, strategizing, finding out what their goals for the show are. What are they hoping their ROI is going to be? What kind of things they see implementing into the show to make it fun and exciting. Um, that part of it, actually sitting down to create it, is fun to me.
mm,
Mm-hmm.
it is.
Brainstorming with the client.
That is the fun part, right? And and we're gonna and this is what I say. This is what I mean when the fun stuff is and what we get to do and learn the the flexibilities of what live video production is. Um, so we can talk about like here's the thing. Me and Chris, we went on his live stream a few weeks ago, and we were testing out a different streaming platform.
Mm-hmm.
And again, here we are again, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks later,
Yeah.
hopping on again and doing another one using Ecamm. So there are different, there are different ways to kind of use all of these technologies, and each of them has its advantages and disadvantages. And this is what we get to geek out and talk about as creators, as streamers. It's
Yes.
like being able to do this. Like people will do this and they go, "Wow, that's neat," and they might just move on. But
Mm-hmm.
for us, we're like, "Holy crap! How do you do that? I want to do that. I get, I don't want to miss it. How do
Yeah.
And then that's for me that's the fun part of getting to get out here and putting putting content out there that sort of aligns with what we're both all about, which is live streaming and helping others and building voices and again just shining a light on people.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a big part of what goes into it. And like you said, on working with clients and getting them in a position to like figure this out for themselves. That's for you the fun part. And I find that, there's different aspects for me. For me, it's the whole strategy is getting
Mm-hmm.
to that point with somebody. So,
Mm-hmm.
and yes, Andrew, I want spinning circles too. So
Mm-hmm.
you can, this is the hard part though, that I have to tell people. I love this software that I'm using. This is Ecamm Live, but it is a Mac product. That's the downfall right now. So it is made specifically for iOS users who use Macs, who knows Apple products. So, but hey, using this capability, it's awesome. There are other ways to do this. We were talking about one right before we came on the show that we were testing the other week, which was Wave.video, right? Um, they're throwing
and,
their,
and you no, go ahead, and I'm gonna say something. Go ahead.
I was gonna say they're throwing their hats in the arena of live streaming as well.
Boy, yeah, and they're doing a hell of a job. When we tested it a couple of weeks ago, a month ago, whenever it was, I said on that show, if they ever get to where, no, I said that about the comments, but I probably thought it in my head. Um, if if they could pair like Restream does, I would probably use them exclusively.
Yeah.
Um, and they just released that feature.
Yes. Wow. Um, man, that again. That's pretty awesome. And for those who don't know why that's kind of awesome, um, kind of explain to somebody who is novice at this and why we as like streamers think that's pretty awesome. I'm gonna give them a round of applause too,
Yeah,
um,
man.
because
Uh, yeah, give them a big round of applause because that's a game changer for sure. They get comments. They ever get their API worked out with LinkedIn where the comments will populate, then I'm I'm a believer for sure.
of course,
So the paired feature on Restream is called co-stream, I think, on wave.video. It allows the guest of the stream to pair or to connect their social media channels with the broadcast. So just like right now, I'm streaming also to my LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitch, which is why some of you are watching on my side and
yeah.
some of you are watching on Gabe's side. Um, it's a game changer for streamers or for anybody because it allows Gabe to be exposed to my network now,
Mm.
giving him exposure. And this is how I sell it. Or not really sell it, but this is how I talk about it to my clients. It allows the guests it allows you to be exposed to your guest network, broadening the reach of the show, but it also makes the guests feel like they're more a part of the show rather than just a guest. Now the show's on their social media channels too, and they really feel like they're a part.
Mm.
They
Right.
don't have to ask you for the recording to post. They don't have to ask you, to put on YouTube or whatever. It's already there.
Mm. And I love that. And you know that, yes, to ask questions for the streaming. So guys, that's also another thing that we're going to start introducing here on the show. Um, we have a Discord channel where we're going to try to, and it's not going to be for every guest, but we're going to try to have guests who want to come in for a more personal Q&A, or just to kind of, you guys want to ask questions or hang out. After these shows, we'll be hanging out in our Discord channel for 30 minutes and just seeing if anybody wants to come here and, from the stream and head over there and just connect. So we'll have the
Which
links and stuff for that. Um,
Yeah, which channel is that?
so that is in our Discord for the Kraken. So,
The Kraken. Okay, I'm in that one.
um, so if you're not connected there, or you are on Discord, because I think people, and thank you, got to get the girls to get that. Hey, thank you, Holly, for stopping in always. Um, so if you go to our Discord there's the link. It's in the comments there. It's an active link. So it is Release the Kraken, folks, and you can go over to our Discord page. We'll hang out there. Um, and it's a great way to sort of build out what we're talking about here and building out community and taking people over there. So if you guys want to head over there after the show, we'll hop over there just for a quick session. But excuse me, I don't feel like I'm choking. But what I wanted to mention, one more thing before we start wrapping up and getting everything out of here. With you taking a little time off for yourself, do you like socially, like totally unplug from the live streaming world and from creation, or are you just saying, you know what, I need a break because for whatever reason I need to recharge my batteries, or creativity is on whatever that is? You
No, I'm still posting. I'm just not doing any live streams, or not hosting any live streams. And this will be the only one I guest on during my little
time away.
6 week break or whatever it is.
Good
Yeah.
for you.
Um, Taking some time because I have to do this for my job. And if
Mm-hmm.
y'all have heard me talk about it a bunch of times, my internet, I live out in the country. My internet is crap. They are running fiber optic to all the rural areas. It'll be sometime next year when I get it. For right now, I do this in my office at my day job. And you walk in my office, anybody that walks in my office, they immediately, their eyes get big. They're like, what is all this stuff? Because I've got lights everywhere and a mic and cameras. And, it looks like a live stream studio. It doesn't look like an office. I've got 3 monitors set up wrapped around me here. Um, all the things. And the owners and my bosses are gracious enough and have allowed me to do this. And I'm very grateful for that. Um, so while I'm not streaming, I'm up here, brainstorming or putting things together, working on graphics or working on, setting up even small things like setting up QuickBooks and Stripe and all that kind of stuff that I haven't really had a whole lot of time to do before because I was streaming 2 nights a week, client calls, in between, and it just got to where it was really hectic. So I said, I'm going to pull back and just breathe them in. And plus, I was getting really burnt out, and not the creative juices, like you said, it kind of started to come to a halt. I was like, I can't even post now. You
Yeah.
know, like I'd go 3 or 4 days without posting, which is fine. I wasn't messed up about it. But at the same time, I realized that I just needed to kind of woosah a little bit.
Yeah. Right. And that's, for me, that's where like some of the best ways to kind of come up with the ideas, like how I wanted to come back this time, it was because I took a break. I was almost off for 3 months, 3.5 months,
Yeah.
where I was like,
Yeah.
that time, man, does it serve you good, where you're like, hey, the juices start going again. You start thinking about things that you will want to approach doing. And, that's where, like, I'm glad that you're going through that, because, again, I think we all need that. I've learned
Mm-hmm.
through 4 different reiterations of doing live streaming and putting these shows together. You don't like plan out for this. You don't at least give yourself the space to do it. You're just going to burn the hell out. And I did. I burned out twice.
Yeah.
So,
And I know now to build breaks in.
yes.
I didn't build this break in. I really needed to take it like back in June, but I was booked all the way through August on guests, and I didn't want to cancel anybody.
Yeah.
So, you live and you learn. Now, I took December off last year. So now I think moving forward, I'm at least going to take like June and December off,
Yeah.
just to kind of decompress a little bit,
Mm,
shake it off, relax,
yeah.
not have to worry about sourcing guests and thinking about how am I going to make this stream pop, or do I need to redo my intro, or do I need to find another background, or do I need to, play around and wave some more and figure out the scenes, and
Yeah.
just relax.
That's it, man. And don't take it. And again, look, when you come back, all this stuff will be here. All the fun stuff will be here. All the people will be here. This is what I've learned.
Yeah.
Don't let the
Yeah.
fucking FOMO like get to you, because
Right.
all you're gonna do is just hurry yourself up to get back into that position of,
Dude, when I watched that video, I guess it was yesterday, that wave that they had did the co-stream, I immediately wanted to jump in there and go live and find somebody to try it with right then. I've had to stop myself all day. Like, I had 2 hours to kill between the time I got off work and the time I jumped on here. And I was like, I could really find somebody and go live real quick and test this thing out, but I'm not going to do it.
Hey, that's the good thing about it, is, man, is you're learning to put that in, and that's the big thing. It's like kind of throttle yourself, and that's what I tell a lot of people when you're doing this. Like I've said, I plan to do 100 shows. I know when my end date is, and then when I'm done, I'll be off for 3 months. I'm planning to say, once I hit that plateau of 100 episodes, once I take the mic off and everything else, boom, I'm done for a while. But then I'll know that I'll be back, and that's the cool thing, is like I know that I'll be coming back. But I love it. And when's the oh, Jacob, you're so fun. All right, so guys, thank you again for a wonderful, wonderful conversation. Thank you, Chris, for coming on the show. I do appreciate it, man.
I appreciate the invite.
And I love this community, and it's a wonderful people just showing up here and being part of it. Mr. Bennett, yes, 45. We're wrapping up right now for Miss Flores. I'm trying to keep it to 45. So we're right at that point. So, Mr. Bennett, I'll reach out to you, because I do have an idea for you. I want to do a man on the street thing. Like, he does the selfies. He goes out. So I'm going to reach out to him, but I want to thank everybody again for being here, for showing up. And you know what? I'm going to do something else on the fly, because this is what we do on live streaming. I'm going to create another scene real quickly. Watch this, folks. You guys are watching this live. And I want to bring in no, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Where you at? Oh, here we go. Okay. Found it. There you go, folks. What you're seeing here is our guest for tomorrow evening. I want you guys to join me tomorrow evening, Thursday, August 18th at 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. We will be back tomorrow evening with Mr. Efren Lopez, or you guys might know him as Dr. ELO. So He's our guest for tomorrow evening. And again, please go check out and follow not just him, but all the guests who've been on the show. And also, I want to thank again everybody who's been here, and go check out Chris. You can go follow his YouTube channel. It is in the comments. It is a link. You can go follow, subscribe to the channel. He's always putting live streams. You can go check out past videos and content and subscribe. It is awesome. So there you go. YouTube channel. Go check it out. Follow. Thank you, Chris, again for
Thanks
being
for
a
having me,
guest
man.
on
I
the show,
enjoyed
man.
it.
And guys, if you want to go head over, we will be in the Discord channel here in a few, as soon as I wrap up. So I'm going to mute you, Chris, and then I want to thank everybody again as I wrap up and get out of here. So again, tomorrow evening, Dr. ELO will be in the house. Efrain Lopez will be our guest tomorrow evening for tomorrow's show. So thank you again, everybody, for a wonderful evening. And it was a decent show, and that's all I shoot for, Mr. Schuer.
Yeah, Jacob. Yeah, it was a decent show.
Is a decent show. So until then, folks, we'll be back tomorrow evening, 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. We're trying to get to 45 minutes. We're getting close, and I will reach out to you, Andrew, as well. Thank you, everybody who's been a part of this one. Guys, you are the best community, and again, you are the lifeblood of what I do here, and without you, there is no show. There's none of this. So take a hat off. Give yourself a pat on the back, guys, so you guys stay safe, stay blessed, and be well, and we will talk to you again tomorrow evening. Until then, good night, everybody.